Yeah, I think the global trade atlas that we're releasing here in, as you say, sunny Brussels, reaffirms exactly that. If I was trying to give you a headline from it, I think it would be more, faster, broader, and changing. There's more trade than there was before the pandemic. The growth over the next couple of years is predicted to be faster than pre-pandemic, is broader in the sense that more emerging markets are getting a slice of the pie. And I think the changing piece is interesting in the sense that the emerging market story has definitely shifted over a decade or so, not just over a year or two, over a decade or so, from quantity to quality. And they're really feeding off the extent of innovation, digitalization, and connectedness that is possible and open to them to drive their product spectrum much more into the quality world. So I think I said it to you guys maybe a year ago when we released the Global Connectedness Index. There is quite some overlap between these two reports insofar as trade goes. And the scorecard for trade is very positive. I often say, you know, business heals and trade is very sort of self-resuscitating. And I think people come back from their summer holidays, they get back to work and they want to do what they do best, which is buy and sell and repair and find new customers. And despite the somewhat cloudy environmental outlook that we're in, it continues to be very resilient.
John, I don't want to be a bore, and I'm really pleased there's a good news story out there. My goodness knows we need one or two at the moment. But deglobalization, shortened supply chains, threats of war, and indeed concern about debt levels in emerging worlds and what their growth rates are going to do. Potential storm clouds, or something that's actually really not as relevant as pundits like myself make it out to be?
Yeah, well, I don't want to be the myth buster on that one, but that is the old chestnut. After the Icelandic ash cloud crisis, you might remember it, depending on where you were, as a two-day weather event. Well, it really wasn't. It was 30 days when there wasn't one plane flying above Europe. Everyone came to me and said, we're going to change our supply chains. We're going to put everything in Europe. Well, nothing happened. Now, here we are. And why? With the same type of supply chains that have been built on economics and efficiency, and increasingly so security. So the best empirical measure, you might say, is the distance that trade travels. And trade is transversing 5,500 kilometers now, and it was slightly less than that a decade ago. So the great trade route from east to west through the Malacca Straits, but now at 35,000 feet in the terms of Air Express, is very much the way in which people receive their goods. And this study has reaffirmed that. I think what we do see a bit, which is not something I saw 2 or 3 years ago, is that the China +1, China +2, China +3 is definitely taking place in a gradual but consistent way. And I think if I was to call out one winner of this report, I don't typically like to do that, because there's so many good success stories on so many dimensions, I'd say Vietnam.